to the Black and White Sessions. We are so excited. Hi.
Hi.
This is the lovely Beverly Staunton. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Yay. It's really, really exciting to have you here. We've been talking about it for a while. And I would love to just jump right in. Give me a little bit of background. I mean, I know you're from Canada.
Right.
How did you end up here?
Oh gosh, how much time do we have? Well, in a nutshell, I actually grew up in Canada singing. I've sung since I was 7 years old, and I have 3 older brothers, and who also sang, and we all played instruments. So we basically grew up singing and playing together, and we did festivals and TV shows and all that kind of stuff. And so I knew at a young age that I wanted to be a singer, So as I got older, my brothers kind of slowly decided they wanted to do other things, and with me, it kind of just stuck. And my parents were extremely supportive, and so fast forward,
Doing a lot of stuff.
Yeah, doing a lot of things and getting a lot of experience, as an adult, a young adult in Canada and stuff. And it just got to the point where I felt like I was working all the time, and I had even done like a little TV tour with Nelly Furtado, and came to the States and Europe and stuff. And I thought, it's time to really, I felt like I'd reached kind of a ceiling, especially with like gigs and studio work and stuff. And so I thought, it's time, I'm going to go.
Yeah.
And I actually knew a producer named Robbie Buchanan, who a lot of people here know, because he used to live in Vancouver and he lived here. And so when I was living in Vancouver, he would hire me there and stuff. And so he kind of, he was my sponsor in order to get here, along with, I had to show a lot of different credentials and basically prove that I was worthy to come here and work as a singer, which, millions of people are trying to do every day.
Yeah.
And so it just, through a lot of hard work and legal stuff and everything, I just kind of made my way. And
yeah, and that is a lot. I mean, that takes, a lot of determination on your, and a lot of patience.
Absolutely. And money.
And a lot of money, yes. And really, I mean, that you brought up an interesting point, because a lot of singers that are born and raised in the United States, they don't have to go through, some of what you've had to go through in order to be here and do what you love to do. Right.
But I feel like, because I was so blessed to be able to do a lot of things, in Canada and kind of travel into the U.S. a little bit, doing different shows and stuff, that kind of gave me enough sort of, credentials in order to do it. So, but, when you have a dream, you need to go for it.
No, and I think that's so great, and obviously it's really good that you persevered and kept going.
Thank you.
So you got here, and what happened next? So how long did it take? I mean, once you got here, do you feel like you just kind of dove in and it took off, or did it take some time? And
a little bit of both, actually. I got here, and I started to basically cold call studios every single day, which is not a fun thing to do, but I did it. And because, what else are you going to do? I mean, Robbie Buchanan was one of the producers here that knew me, and so he had hired me for a session. But other than that, I basically just was calling studios and different agencies that I could just get, wedding gigs and kind of stuff like that. And so as far as the live work, that kind of happened quickly. But I think I came maybe summertime, and so the first 6 months were okay.
Yeah.
And then it just kind of took a dive to the point where I thought, is this actually going to work out? Because it, you got to pay your bills and keep moving forward. And, for a split second, I thought, well, maybe I should become a personal trainer, or I literally, I didn't dive into anything like that, but it definitely crossed my mind, I might have to do something else.
Right.
But I wasn't thinking I'm going to go home or back to Canada or anything.
Yeah.
And then out of the blue one day, I got a call from a vocal contractor who said, hey, I worked with you a year ago on a session, and I'm looking for singers to audition for this show called Dancing with the Stars. Wow. And it actually kind of gives me chills when I talk about it, because Sorry, I'm like getting so emotional.
That's okay.
It just was kind of
That's a
like a
big thing.
pivotal. Sorry, this is really weird.
It's okay. You know,
So that
it was a big moment.
It was a big moment, and it was.
And it obviously makes you emotional because it was a life-changing moment for you.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And it was just such a huge opportunity, a huge experience.
Yeah.
And that just kind of, gave me a place, and
Right.
one of the best gigs I could ever dream of.
Yeah, it changed your life.
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
really, it's one of those things in LA that I think is what makes LA so like magical, because there aren't a lot of places in the world where you can go where there are things like these TV shows that singers have an opportunity to just be in-house.
Right.
And you have a day-to-day job.
Absolutely.
And doing what you love to do and singing songs you love with people you love.
Absolutely.
On something so high energy. So, I feel like I can speak into that as a singer who wasn't on the show, but as a fan watching, you just think, wow, that's amazing what they're getting to do.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And
so you recognize it. And so the tears, I feel like, are valid because there's just not a lot of people that will ever get to say that they got to do what you got to do.
Right. Well, and I'll also never, ever forget the moment of, I think I auditioned on, say, like a Thursday, and the show was actually starting the next week, so they were really cutting it close. Right.
Last minute.
Right. And so the weekend actually went by, and I thought, oh, okay, I guess I didn't get it. Because I knew it was starting so soon, and I think, probably Monday came, and I got the phone call, and I will never forget just being in my kitchen, my little apartment, just like bawling, not even really knowing what this show could potentially become. It was already going in England and was successful there. So you could kind of get a little bit of a feel, but nobody really knew it was going to be this crazy year after year hit.
Yeah.
But still, in that moment, it was, wow, I actually landed this job.
Right. Right. And you have all of these great memories. And I think a lot of people that are fans of the show that might watch this, like, can you give like an example of, okay, what day of the week would you find out you're singing a song, and then what day do you actually film it? And
well, the show was typically Monday and Tuesday. Throughout the years, sometimes they only did Mondays, but for the most part, it was Mondays and Tuesdays. And so at the end of Tuesday, we would get a CD and just like a list of songs for the following week. And then the Wednesday, the musical director would basically assign songs. You sing this, because there was 4 singers. And then by Saturday, before the Monday, we would get the charts for it. And then go live on Monday.
Yeah. So it's
but
fast.
No other rehearsal other than just showing up early, Monday morning and going for it.
Wow. So it was fast paced.
It was a thrill.
Yeah. And you had to be on your toes.
Absolutely. Which I love.
Which was great, huh? So talk a little bit about post Dancing with the Stars. So Dancing with the Stars ends, and and a lot of singers, I mean, several of us have talked through some of these interviews about the ups and downs of this industry, and you can be working every day, and then you can be working not at all.
Right.
And so, the show ends for you, and what happens next?
Well, I get that question a lot, especially from non-musicians and non-singers, like just people in my life that I know and friends and people that I encounter, and I still get it every now and then, like, well, what are you doing now? And my answer is that even when I was on Dancing with the Stars, I would always try to keep my hand in different things because you never know when something is going to end, and that. If I was giving somebody some advice, I would say that,
That's great.
even I was still singing at weddings, which I still do now, I was still doing, these radio IDs that I do, I was still doing different things and still trying to get my name out there, even though I was on Dancing with the Stars. Because at some point, it's going to end.
Yeah,
and
that's
so
really good advice.
Even though that ended, and I for sure had to grieve that, because it was just such an amazing and beautiful thing. I still work as a studio singer, and I still do weddings, and I still try to get my name out there. You know, there's
Yeah.
still plenty of people, you know, that I haven't worked with or worked for, and you know, I still just kind of try to hustle as much as I can because I know I was one of those people that came here wanting to do this. So I know that every single day there are people, very talented people, coming here wanting to do this.
That's right.
And so you can't ever really like sit back and not do anything or not try to hustle, even though it is hard and there's lots of ups and downs.
Right.
You know, and even now, you know, some days I go, oh, I really wish my phone would ring, or you know what I mean?
And that's you know, that's valid, and I think a lot of singers feel that way.
Absolutely.
You know, so those are very reasonable feelings to have. Well, this has been so great. I am so thankful that you came and joined us for a Black and White session. It's really an honor to have you here and be a part of this. And we obviously wish you all the best.
Thank you.
And we hope we'll see you again.
I hope so too.
Okay.
Thanks for having me.
Okay. See you guys.